Impacts of procrastination to academic performance of senior high school in Canubing National High School. Introduction. Procrastination is an act everyone takes a part in every day. Regardless of their situation in life, it has always been a challenge that all people has faced at one point at a time. It seems that procrastination is now more of a social norm than a deviance. By definition, a social norm is a rule or standard of behavior shared by members of a social group. The norm in the case of education is to do work and learn in school. Although procrastination is a deviance of the norm of education, there are more students who procrastinate than students who get everything done as soon as it is assigned. The standard has been changed. It is now standard behavior to procrastinate since the majority of the social group participates. Obviously, the problem of procrastination affects many students in senior high school in Canubing National High School. The behavior and attitude of the students towards the requirements affects their academic performance. Moreover, the students who study their books perform better than those who are not serious. Plus, 2015 explains that the procrastination is avoidance of doing a task that needs to be accomplished. He further states that procrastinate is the process of doing more pleasurable things in place of less pleasurable ones, or carrying out less urgent tasks instead of more urgent ones, thus putting off impending tasks to a later time. Psychologists often attribute procrastination as a coping mechanism against the anxiety we experience when faced with a difficult or unwanted task. As an excuse, we find distractions to make ourselves busy when these tasks are not time critical and can be done tomorrow or much later. This habit can lead to poor time management. It would affect the student's academic performance, causing stress or anxiety. This research aims to investigate the impacts of procrastination to academic performance of senior high school of Convene National High School. It also aims to determine if procrastination is helpful or not. Now, research locale. The study was conducted at Canubing One National High School. This place was selected for knowing the efficiency of the study of impacts of procrastination to academic performance of senior high school of Canubing National High School. The research study was implemented safely during pandemic. Our theoretical framework, as you can see, procrastination results to stress, then becomes poor quality output. Next is anxiety that becomes low grades. It's sometimes indisposed and becomes our study habits. Next is our conceptual framework. Our input for this is our title, which is the impacts of procrastination to academic performance of senior high school of Canubin, National High School. Our process is using questionnaire research, data tabulation, and analysis, and our output is procrastination would drive the students to be more productive, that they would do a certain task under pressure, therefore boosting their academic performance. Now, the statement of the problem is the research aims to investigate and study the impacts of procrastination to academic performance of senior high school of Canubin National High School. The study seeks answers to the following questions. Number one, does procrastination take a negative effect on students' academic performances? Two, do the students prioritize their studies? Three, are the students more likely to do anything else instead of studying? Statement of the hypothesis. This paper set out to investigate the impact of procrastination to academic performance of students of Canubin National High School. Based on the questions above and following the general trend of procrastination in most studies, the present work would generally expect that we have two hypotheses. The first one is procrastination will lead to low quality output of projects and activities, therefore lead to a poor academic performance. The next one is procrastination would make students to be more productive in doing a certain task under pressure, therefore boosting their academic performance. Are related literature and studies. Procrastination is often associated with feelings of discomfort. The current research examined the effects of decisional and academical procrastination in students, feeling of discomfort related to academic procrastination, and a desire to change their procrastination habits. We assumed that academic procrastination would mediate the relationship between decisional procrastination and students' feelings toward academic procrastination. The results challenge the traditional perception that procrastination is mostly associated with feelings of discomfort and may imply that while decisional procrastinators experience discomfort associated with procrastination, academic procrastinators want to change their procrastination habits but do not report feelings of discomfort. The findings also suggest a difference between the two types of procrastination and may contribute to the argument that for some students, procrastination serves as an immediate emotional relief, followed by negative academic outcomes that enhance the desire to change this habit. Procrastination is human behavior of delaying tasks, jobs, or actions for whatever reason for later time. Apparently, it is a way of concealing up anxiety connected with starting up or finishing the task. It is a behavior or delaying tasks despite knowing that there would be a negative outcome of delay. Perceptiveness and sense impressions of procrastination across correlates. To summarize, procrastination is associated with low consciousness and self-regulatory failure. Additionally, reasons for procrastination such as fear of failure and aversiveness of the task with no different study habits or time management. Additionally, individuals who procrastinate report more test anxiety, weekly state anxiety, and weekly anxiety-related physical symptoms. Future interventions for procrastination should look at reducing anxiety levels. Research methodology. This chapter presents the methodology of the study conducted by the researcher. Our research design. This study will utilize quantitative method of research. This research will use the descriptive research design is appropriate to the study in collecting necessary information about the present existing status, issues, and concerns in the impacts of procrastination in academic performance of senior high school. It is helpful in describing the actual condition and position of the situation as it occurs at the time of the study to discover the causes of a certain occurrences. Descriptive approach in studies is appropriate in providing facts on which definite decisions may be constructed. This delivers critical information about the condition of things and people. Finally, this study will employ the various processes in analyzing data using narrative and content analysis. If necessary, the researcher will also conduct focus group discussion to verify findings and results. Sampling technique. The sampling technique approach that will be used to choose the respondents to gather information and answers the researcher's question is stratified random sampling. It begins by segmenting a population to groups with comparable characteristics. Then, from each group, a random sample is picked. This strategy was employed in this survey to ensure that different elements of the population are represented equally, particularly the opinions of students in each department. Respondents of the study. The researcher conducted the survey among selected senior high school students from Canubing National High School that are currently studying in the school year 2021 to 2022. Using stratified random sampling, the researchers determined the specific respondents who will be answering these questions on the surveys they created. Research instruments. The main instrument used in this study was the questionnaires. The researcher designed the self-administered questionnaires for the data gathering process to get the quantitative information. The questionnaire was structured in such a way that respondents will be able to answer it easily. Thus, the set of questionnaire was structured using online questionnaire because of pandemic. An online questionnaire is a series of questions specifically structured to gather information about the target audience or group of people conducted online. The interviewers will answer the form easily, accessing it through an internet connection, validations, and reliability of instruments. The research advisor validated the questionnaire provided by the researcher. These suggestions and corrections were incorporated in the draft in the next validation. The selected senior high school students who were included as the final respondents will be answering the questionnaires. The responses were tested for reliability. Data gathering procedure. The researcher used social media to communicate with those who might participate in the study. Following that, they were asked a series of study-related questions. The necessary information was acquired and used for the data tallying method using Google Forms. Data analysis procedure. Responses to the interview card questions by selected senior high school students in Canubing National High School will be statistically analyzed with the data requirements of the study. Senior high school students in Canubing National High School will be statistically analyzed with the data instruments of the study. Descriptive statistics will be studied, such as frequency count, percentage, and rank. Summary, conclusion, and recommendations. This is from the gathered questionnaires from Grade. This chapter presents the summary or the research work undertaken, the conclusion drawn, and the recommendations made as an output of this study. This study aims to determine the impacts of procrastination on the academic performance of the senior high school students of Canubing National High School. Summary. The purpose of this study is to investigate the impacts of procrastination on the academic performance of the senior high school students of Canubing National High School. More specifically, to answer the following questions. Do the students prioritize their studies? Are the students more likely to do something else instead of studying? Does procrastination take a negative or positive effect on students' academic performance? Conclusion. Based on the findings and the results of the study from which the researcher conducted, the researchers drew out the following conclusions. Procrastination is known to have a bad reputation. It can affect the student's way of thinking and academic positively or negatively depending on the person. The result, however, shows that procrastination affects the respondent's grade negatively. It is shown that the more the student procrastinate, the more they are prone to lower marks on grades. Procrastination has always been a problem of students. Although it is commonly experienced, only a few have idea or are familiar with the word. Therefore, it means that the term is not commonly used in everyday life and that people lack knowledge about the phenomenon. Third, though the problem is present, majority of the respondents still prioritize the requirements since it's essential for the academic performance. This only means that the students are treasuring and prioritizing their students and not likely to do other than non-school related tasks. Fourth, the result also shows that the majority of the respondents believes that procrastination can hinder a person from achieving their academic goals. Delaying school-related tasks will only result to a low mark that can be a reason for one's low grades. Fifth, therefore, it is concluded that students should not procrastinate. In order to achieve one's academic goals, one should work hard for it and not delay their task. Recommendation. Use the deadlines as motivation to finish such tasks early. Second, educate and familiarize yourselves about procrastination, its effects, and its causes. Third, focus on your studies and do your requirements early to be able to pass them in time. Fourth, help lessen the cases of procrastination in order to achieve one's academic goals easily. Thank you for listening. That's all. Thank you.